Hey, welcome back. So last week I got a comment, somebody wanting to see the treatment being done. So I figured that would be what I would do. I'll just kind of explain what I'm doing here. In the instructions, look in the previous video to kind of see how long you should be dosing. I have been doing this for quite some time now, and I am now up to just above the limit of what they said to have. I'll explain that here as I go on. So here in the case, you just have the glasses, the wand, and the adapter, which is all attached. The adapter's kind of funny. The cord is going to get tangled up. That's just what it does. Alright, so on the wand itself, there's a switch right here. It's going to turn it on. And then on your little control here, right now I'm up to 2 minutes. And 2 minutes, according to this dosing chart, is 850 millijoules. According to the data that I had, 800 is supposed to be the top limit. And then after that, it's kind of at the doctor's discretion. Well, since I don't have a doctor, I am myself. The redness doesn't seem to be very strong the next day, so it just seems like I should be going up just a little bit. And I'm doing this very cautiously because, as the doctor said, if I go too far, I can actually burn myself and make it worse. So right now I am at 2 minutes with my wrist. I'm still down at 1 minute and 40 seconds with my knuckles. They're really hard to see because of the improvement, but I don't want to go any further than that because then they tend to kind of feel a little bit raw for the next day. So 1 minute 40 is kind of where I stop at that, even though I don't see burning. 2 minutes is where I'm at on my wrist. So it's just set with, you just press down, go over, and then decide how far on the where it's going to be, and then click OK. And now we're at 2 minutes. So since it's not around my face, I'm not going to worry with the glasses. I don't tend to look at it anyways while I'm doing it. So I just stick it on here kind of like this, and then I push start. And now it's just a waiting game for 2 minutes. It lights up. As you can see, there's kind of like a standoff there so that you're getting the right distance. If you look in the book, you'll actually see that the distance, if you were to take that little plastic thing off and go closer, you can actually make the treatment shorter, but it's not going to affect the same amount of area. I guess it kind of dissipates it a little bit as you stand it away. For safety, I know how far this is away from my wrist, and I keep it that distance. So just to keep it the same from week to week, from session to session, which is just every other day now. So I keep this going for 2 minutes, and then whenever it's done, it automatically clicks off, so I don't even have to pay any attention to it. Basically, most of the time I will just have this going with it in my lap, and I'll be watching TV. It's pretty simple. It doesn't. The first couple times I used it, it actually gave kind of a tingling sensation. Anymore, I don't even get that. The next day, I do notice a little bit of redness, and I make sure that in my documentation that I document the amount of redness. If there's any itching or discomfort the next day, I make sure to note that. Basically, anytime I do a treatment, I make sure to comment and make sure to document it. And the reason for that is these bulbs are only intended to last for 100 hours. They'll last longer than that, but as an electrician, you kind of know that as things get older, they tend to get dimmer. So that's my 2 minutes. Now I'm going to move on to the next wrist. So as they get older, they tend to get dimmer, so the chart is incorrect at that point in time. So at 100 hours, you're supposed to change this bulb, whether it works or not. So one of the reasons to document that is because you probably will use 100 hours worth of this bulb if you have more of an area than I do. I only have two areas plus my 2 knuckles, so really 4 areas. So each time that I'm using it about 7 minutes. So 100 hours, there's a lot of 7-minute segments in that. So I don't foresee myself using 100 hours very quickly, but I probably will at some point. Right now I think I'm at like 8 hours or something like that. But the progress is actually quite a lot. I will, when we get done here, I will get a close-up of my wrists so that you can kind of see, and hopefully with the redness of the treatment, you'll actually be able to see it a little bit more. But it's improved a lot. I just, it's kind of hard to explain how well it's improved, but it's shrunk quite a bit, and the area that's left is actually less pronounced. Kind of hard to explain, but I think what's happening is the edges are actually softening, and that's the process of it getting better. This is totally working for me. It's not an overnight cure, and you just have to be prepared for it to not be an overnight cure. If you have an area that's bigger than I have, you very well may want to consider a bigger bulb. They do have ones that are full body ones. They have ones that are full hand that you just put your hands under. They have ones that are just bigger. All this is just 2 bulbs here. It's actually 1 bulb that's tied together right there. And you just pop this out to replace it. It's really easy to replace. The bulb in this one, I believe, is about $50. So the machine itself was like $200. So it's much cheaper to just keep replacing the bulbs than to have to get a new thing. So anyways, so this is right after a treatment. Hopefully you can kind of see that. Where the color is, it's more pronounced than this one. These are the dots from the little thing holding it away, but this used to be like a complete heart-shaped thing, and if you look back at my previous videos, you'll actually see how bad it was. But you can clearly see that there's stuff happening there, and that, I guess, was this video. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them below. I like to answer those as quick as I can. And have a good day. Thanks. Bye.